Even though most men act the same in some situations, Sigma males do things that make them stand out. Even though these guys don't try to act differently, they do because they are independent. They often make different choices than most people because they think and act outside the box. Most people in our broken society think that many of these choices are not normal. Even though envy and comparison are not inherently bad, they have led us to a place where normal things seem strange and people who don't do them are seen as strange. So without further ado, here are a few things that normal Sigma men would never do. Number 1. Giving others too much power. When it comes to relationships and their own lives, Sigma men are very private. No matter if it's a love, friendly or family relationship. If you tell someone too much, they can easily take advantage of you and use the situation to their own advantage. Because of this, these guys are so private and stay away from each other. They don't give too much power to anyone else. They want to keep their independence. Sigmas don't need to be in charge of other people, but they like being in charge of themselves and their own lives. They don't make themselves weak by giving too much power or control to other people. They know that the more you give away, the less freedom you have for yourself. But this isn't just about getting facts. These men also don't put a lot of faith in other people. They think carefully about who they let in and never give too much trust or duty to anyone. They are careful and only give privileges to people they think deserve it. Number 2. Being in the company of people who aren't good for you. One of the worst things you can do in life is get along with the wrong people. You'll never be your best self if you hang out with the wrong people. Because of this, Sigma guys are very picky about who they hang out with. People often say they are too picky, but it all works out in the end. Some people will get you to do bad things without you even realizing it. So Sigma men won't think twice about cutting ties with someone who isn't a good example or with whom they don't get along. Someone said, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." People you spend a lot of time with have a big effect on who you become and how good you can be. So instead of spending time on people who don't help them grow, these guys put their energy and attention on people who push them to be the best they can be. Anyone can't just join their group. Sigmas care more about how good their relationships are than about how many they have. They'd rather have one great friend than 20 average ones. They stay away from people and things that could hurt them or make them feel out of control. Number 3. Denial is a way of life. A sad fact is that many people live their whole lives in ignorance. They don't want to face the truth about their lives, so they run away into the world of make-believe. This hurts the quality of their lives and keeps them from getting better as people. Sigma men try to be honest and tell the truth even when it's hard. They don't make up their own world, instead they accept things as they are. These guys don't try to fix things or get out of trouble. They face problems straight on. Living in denial is not in line with how a Sigma man thinks. These guys don't have time to be vague and they don't try to be. When it's clear that something is wrong, they don't act like everything is fine. Even though it's hard, it's always better in the long run to see the truth. So instead of trying to hide from the truth, know that it's better to accept it and make changes. Number 4. Taking in information without first sifting it. When information is wrong, it can make things go wrong in a big way. Sigma men, on the other hand, think about things on their own and in a rational way. They don't believe what they see at first and they question everything. Sigma men are skeptical, but not too much. They know that not all information can be believed, so they always question where the information came from, what it means, and who is behind it. These guys care about being able to think critically and enjoy a good mental challenge. Before making up their own minds, they carefully think about facts, ideas and reasons from different points of view. Sigmas don't do what everyone else does. They are not quickly influenced by trends or what most people think. They don't do what society tells them to. Instead, they do what they want and make decisions based on what they think is best. They are always looking for the truth. Sigmas have a strong desire to find out what's really going on. They know it can be hard to find the truth, so they carefully sort through the material to make sure it is correct and reliable. Number 5. Allowing others to make decisions for you. Alpha males are strong and sure of themselves, but they aren't as independent as Sigma males. Sigmas are free and decide for themselves by nature. They don't let other people tell them what to do or how to act, and they don't let anyone sway their decisions. This is because these guys are very sure of themselves and what they can do. Before making a decision, they carefully think about the pros and cons of each option. Before they do anything, they make sure they know what each choice means. Sigmas also don't mind being by themselves. They don't make choices based on how they think other people will see them. Even if people try to get them to do something, they don't give in because they know what's best for them and stick to their guns. If you let other people make decisions for you, you might feel bad and miss out on chances. Sigma men want to be in charge of everything in their lives, good and bad. If they give power to other people, they might stop being responsible for themselves, which goes against their core values. Number 6. Living life for the sake of Instagram highlights. People do things these days a lot for social media. They put on a show and try to be someone they're not to get likes and fans. It's like they've forgotten that there's more to life than what can be recorded on social media or in a selfie. They're trying to get the attention of people who don't even exist. Sigma males, on the other hand, don't think about their popularity or where they stand on social media. They care more about what's true than what looks good, and they know that true happiness comes from within. It's fine to share some of your events and achievements on social media, but living your life for the gram is a surefire way to be unhappy. Someone once said the best thing you can do is to be yourself. Everyone else is taken. This may sound like a cliché, but it's a good reminder to focus on what matters and be yourself. Trying to live up to other people's standards or please an imaginary group of people will only make you unhappy. Number 7. Making judgments based on ego rather than rationality. Sigmas are the opposite of alpha males, who are known for making choices based on their egos. These men make choices based on facts and not on how they feel. They know that making decisions is often affected by feelings, but that it's important to take a step back and look at the situation with an open mind before acting. A Sigma won't make choices based on what will make him look good, while an alpha might. The Sigma knows that the only way to make a good choice is to look at all the options and pick the one that makes the most sense. Ego is sometimes a factor in making decisions, but a Sigma won't let it take over. They would rather make choices based on facts than on how proud they are of themselves. They also don't like to guess or take shortcuts like a lot of other people do. They think that choices should be made for the good of everyone, not to make themselves feel better. Sigma males don't need to show themselves or win arguments. They like to get along with others and try to solve problems by talking things out instead of fighting over egos. Number 8. Making use of people as a means to an aim. Some people don't care about anyone else but themselves. They don't mind using people to get what they want and then throwing them away like it's nothing. On the other hand, Sigma guys are always real. They really care about their ties with other people and would never use or trick someone to get what they want. They care about the people who are close to them and value real connections. Using other people as pawns can hurt relationships very badly. The way these guys act is based on their own ideas of right and wrong. They think that everyone should be treated fairly and with respect, no matter what they stand to gain. They know how important it is for both people in a partnership to give and take. They know that strong relationships that are good for both parties are built on trust and goodwill, not on trickery or taking advantage of people. Sigma guys take care of themselves above all else. They would rather use their own skills and resources to reach their goals than try to trick other people into doing what they want. Number 9. Thinking in terms of black and white. Another thing that sets Sigma guys apart is this. These guys know that life is complicated and don't believe in hard and fast rules. They know that there are always small details and different shades of gray to think about when making choices or judgments. Sigmas keep in mind that nothing is as easy as it seems on the surface when they form opinions or look at situations. They don't judge quickly or rely on ideas they already have. They just try to learn as much as they can about a problem before making a decision. They also think about how one move can cause other things to happen later. This helps them see the whole picture of a problem and come up with creative solutions that might not be clear at first. Sigma males think outside of the box and don't just settle for one answer. This is what makes them so flexible and able to handle any situation. People who only see things in black and white are limited to their own ideas, which can make them make bad decisions. Sigmas don't have this problem because they are open-minded, curious and think about things. They try to stay ahead of the curve because the world is always changing. Number 10, being the yes man for everyone. Everyone knows someone who says yes all the time. These are the people who are always trying to make other people happy and can't seem to stand up for themselves or take charge of their own lives. People often end up in relationships and jobs they don't want because they are afraid to say no. Sigma men are not at all like that. They know that if they say yes to every request they could be used or misled. These guys are sure of themselves and know that their ideas and thoughts are important. This is why they aren't afraid to stand up for themselves and say no to requests that don't fit with their morals. It's good to help other people, but you shouldn't have to give up your own happiness or freedom to do so. Even if it's hard or disliked, there are times when it makes sense to say no. Being a yes man hurts your image and keeps you from saying what's really on your mind. It also makes people take advantage of you, even if they don't want to. Sigma males try to find a balance between being selfless and being assertive so that they can keep their independence and make important contributions to the world. Number 11, following the flow. Many people today tend to do what everyone else does. Even worse, they can't make choices on their own anymore. They don't want to do anything important or useful, they just want to go with the flow. Sigma men are not the same. They act on their own and come up with their own ideas. They don't do what everyone else does just because everyone else does it. Even if something has been done before, that doesn't mean that it's the best or most effective way to move forward. These guys aren't afraid to challenge what other people think and do things differently. They know that the best way to be successful is to break out of old habits and try new things. Sigma men know that they have to go against the crowd, sometimes even though it's not always easy. This can put them in conflict with people in power, but sometimes it's the only way to move forward. Even though being creative and having an open mind are important, going with the flow can stop you from growing. Number 12, when things get tough, people give up. Nothing worth doing is easy, you have to work through problems. But how you deal with these problems will decide whether or not you achieve. It's like the old saying, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So many of us give up when things get hard. We don't want to face the task, so we choose the easy way out. Instead of pushing through to get to the other side, we'd rather just sit back and accept our fate. This is where Sigmas vary from each other. These guys are not afraid of problems no matter how hard they might seem. Along the way they may get tired and lose hope, but that doesn't stop them from going on. Sigmas stand out because they don't give up and are ready to work hard. They like to work in the dark and let their products do the talking. They don't like to brag or show off. Instead, they just want to get to work.